Brianna Powers here with Behind the Veil Mystery School. So sometimes people have bad premonitions or psychic experiences and they're not sure what to do with that. So there's a couple different things that might explain why that's happening. One is if you have all bad psychic information that comes in all the time, like you just have bad message after message after message after message, and it's like very negative. What might be behind that, if that should happen, is one principle that happens in our lives, law of attraction, is whatever you vibrate is what you attract. And so psychics who are vibrating at a certain level in our lives, it could be negative, tend to attract in more psychic information that's in sequence, in sync with that vibration. So if you keep getting repeated, like every message of every flavor of every topic is all negative, probably there's something going on in your own energy signature that's very negative. So that's different than if it's just the same message repeating all the time. So if it is the same message that's repeating all the time, that's probably your intuition that is trying to flag you to pay attention to something that's really, really urgent that you really need to act on. And it's specifically the same information over and over and over again. And in this instance, it's not like everything is bad. It's just this one particular message that keeps repeating. That is trying to give you a warning. So go ahead and heed the warning and take whatever action you can to answer to that. Okay, so there's two different scenarios. One, law of attraction, you vibrate, you attract in the same thing. Two, it's a genuine message that you need to heed. So I'm going to go back to the first one for just a second. If you tend to be on more of a negative vibration, then what you need to do is work on shifting that energy. You might want to do some aura cleansing. If you need to do some personal work and maybe work with a therapist or a counselor to release any kind of negative trauma that you might have in your system, then you should go ahead and do that. And then another thing you can do is work on re-scripting the information. Like, for example, you're at the top of the stairs and you're afraid you're going to fall down. You see a glimpse of yourself falling down the stairs. Before you start your descent down the stairs, hold on to the rail and put a shield around yourself so that you're protected. Program it that you're safe and protected, and that all of your steps are going to be steady and sure-footed and grounded, and you're going to be very safe, and vision yourself all the way going down the stairs completely safely. If you work on re-scripting it and putting out the intention that you're safe, that everything's okay, that you're sure-footed, you're going to be working on redirecting your energy signature into the direction of what you want instead of the direction of what you don't want. So these are some different ways that you can handle it when you have negative messages that are coming in. The other scenario that happens sometimes is you might get a negative message for another person. So nobody likes to have a doomsayer running around and saying, oh, and you're going to die. You know, it's a big bummer and nobody wants to hear that. So if you really truly get a genuine, honest warning message for another person, and you're not on the frequency of all bad news all the time, and you really want to help them, you might be faced with, ethically, do you want to be honest, or do you want to just like tell them only good news and only what they want to hear, or do you want to upset them and maybe, you know, that maybe you'll be wrong, or maybe, you know, it'll cause more trouble to tell them that in some way. So what I usually recommend is that you ask for guidance, like what is the best thing that I can say to them that will help them? And just let that guidance lead you into the best and appropriate way to offer some kind of insight or advice for them. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you'd like some more information, please go to this link here and you can get a lot more free content and some free training videos. All right, thank you.